Hey y'all, Redneck Reads Reddit here. And y'all, I'm going to be doing a little r/pro revenge. Let's see how this goes. First one is a story from my late grandfather by the Borg. Pardon me. This was told to me back in 2012 by my granddad. A story from when he was living in California in the 70s. The neighborhood where my grandpa lived wasn't the best part of town, and there was a gang of hooligans that had gotten together recently. One night, these rapscallions decided it would be a good idea to go out and play some mailbox baseball, smashing all the mailbox in the cuddle sack. When my grandpa went out to check the mail, he found the sad remnants of their mailbox. He was furious, but he did the rational thing and simply replaced it. Weeks passed, and those delinquents were at it again, demolishing everyone's pristine new mailboxes. Upon the discovery of this, my grandfather was livid. He set out to stop these ruffians repeating their ill deeds. He gathered materials and, taking inspiration from Wile E. Coyote, he constructed a trap for those ne'er-do-wells. He filled the new mailbox with concrete, using a piece of 2x6 to leave a slot for letters to be placed. Once cured, he set his trap and waited. A month passed, and the punks were having their fun once more. My grandfather, hearing the smash of a neighbor's mailbox, went to the window. Smash! 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 Crack! The goon with the baseball bat screamed. The bat split in twain, and his wrist shattered. They peeled out, speeding in the general direction of the hospital. The mailbox was knocked off its post, but otherwise undamaged. He went out, set the box back up on the post, and went to bed. Oddly enough, the mailboxes were left alone after that. Who would have guessed? Good old grandpa. Don't ever mess with an old man. Never. It never works out well. All right. Let's see here. What we got? Kid pretends to be my teacher in a sick, twisted way, and he gets what's coming to him. By Chica 360. Okay. Here's a background to have this make any sense. I have an amazing science teacher. Let's call him Mr. ASM, standing for Mr. Amazing Science Man. And let's call this kid Billy. Mr. Aslam said frequently that we have opportunities waiting for us, but we needed to work for them, and that we should use our resources, specifically the iPads that our school provides us to do work on, etc. But he says there are points where opportunities are abused, and states that he only uses his iPhone for keeping in contact with his kids in case something happens, friends, and his family, along with the occasional camera, GPS, and Google. Now on to the story. Okay, so I was scrolling through the Insta like a normal person and saw my recommended follows, usually of people that are following my friends, and I see one that has Mr. Aslam's name on it. And I investigate, because I'm curious. I look at the bio, horrified. The bio reads out, I love science and little girls. Horrified, I scroll through the post and just a little more info. Mr. Aslam is cleaner than a preacher, so he never swears, ever. Back to the story. I see many racial slurs, cuss words, and threatening statements. I contact him immediately through the school's email system. I send him screenshots of the comments on the post, and the bio. He notifies me saying I wasn't the first to inform him, but I was the third in the past 20 minutes, and he tells me not to worry about it and have a good night. The next day, I asked what happened, and apparently Billy pretends to be him and attempts to get him in trouble or fired. So, according to Mr. Aslam, the police were called. This kid got in some serious trouble with the law for impersonation and now has to deal with that on his permanent record for the rest of his life. Most likely taking him out of the running for some pretty good colleges and jobs. Lessons, kids. Don't be a Billy. Okay, edit. Okay, y'all, I have information. And that's all in caps, so I'm like, I have information! So the perverted Instagram profile incident happened only about 2 months ago, either January or December. And this lingers in my class as drama does. I think my best friends and I found out who Billy is. No, I'm not going to give actual names because I'm still in school, and that could get me in some trouble. But I have Billy's motive. So back in like September or October, we had a trip to our local space center, and we had activities and all around a good time. Well, apparently Mr. Aslam found some stolen stuff from the center. It wasn't major, but he does not like when people steal other people's things. Way to go, Mr. Amazing Science Man. Through a few interrogations and a few questions to other students, he found out who it was. Can y'all guess who it was? I'll give you 3, and the first 2 don't count. Billy! And because Billy stole something, Mr. Aslam punished him like a normal teacher would do so. Apparently, Billy got 2 months of detention and is not allowed back to the center because we're going back to the center in a few months. So currently, Billy is not allowed to go on that field trip. So Billy got super mad and created this profile of him inside of all those horrible, disgusting, perverted things. Well, what I gather, Billy ended up getting a few extra months detention and had to write a 5-page apology. And he also got a personal conversation with the police officers saying how wrong it is to impersonate someone online. Sorry it being a bit long edit. Sorry it was kind of a long edit, but there was a bit of information that I wanted you to hear. Thanks for tuning in. Heart emoji. Bye. You know, okay, teachers, you can either have, normally you either wind up with ones that are just absolutely amazing or absolute crap. It normally seems that's the way it is. It's hard to really find just a mediocre, middle-of-the-road teacher, in my experience at least. And doing this crap to a good teacher? Really, y'all? Come on. Oh. Billy. I hope a bigger bully than you gives you a wedgie of the atomic variety. Jerk. Alright, and let's see here. Rich Kid MC Bully, get his up and comings by Chaos 81. Yeah, I'm just going with that. This was before I was ever an admin for any of those servers this group had, and I never told them until long after I stopped being an admin. Okay, Minecraft Bully, Rich Kid Minecraft Bully. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, I was a regular player on a modded Minecraft server, and still rather new the first time I encountered this guy. I'll call him EC. Turns out he has quite a lot of money and feels quite entitled because of it. Finds me out in the open, and when I say hi to him, he kills me right off the bat. Okay, PvP is allowed in the wild, and I'm doing okay enough to remake the stuff I had. Rude, but not crippling. It did set my view of his EC, did set my view of this EC. As time goes on, it turns out he's been a little crap to a lot of people on the server. Worst off, he has dropped a boatload of money into this server, and the admins are very hesitant to punish him because of it. There's a special place in hell for the pay-to-win crowd in my mind. He managed to grief one of my friend's bases, and it was stated there wasn't enough clear evidence to pursue punishment. The final straw was when he was snooping around my base when I invited someone over to show them how to build a few setups. I like to help people, and I had figured out how to go above and beyond with a lot of the mods of the game. For the most part, I'm not a PvPer. I don't go hunting people. I just like to build crazy contraptions. Anyways, I have set up very controlled areas where if I don't want you in there and you're not an admin, you don't get in. Well, EC was pitching a fit because he couldn't get in. After several attempts to politely tell him I wasn't granting access, I finally gave a firm no. The server has add-ons to prevent PvP in towns, if not turned on by the person who controls it. There are ways around it. I know many, but I never use them. It turns out he knew some of them and tries to kill me in my own town. I recorded the attempt. I had a feeling and was prepared. Gotcha, Susan. Or so I thought. Got met with the same BS line from the server owner. This kid practically paid for his car with all his spending. Fine. I'll take care of it. I spent the next month combing the server looking for where he'd set up his base. Thankfully, I was not the only one. One of my friends clued me into his location, and I beat feet and set up a way to get to and from as quickly as possible. One of the mods on the server is called Foamcraft. In version 1.4.7, this mod has nodes where you can draw energy from the things that you craft. That you can draw energy from that you can craft things with. They replenish by drawing from the nodes around them. Drain one and it messes with the node, and they begin to spawn these little annoying monsters called wisps. They fly around and zap you. One of them is a minor nuisance. 2 or 3 are rather annoying. 10 is a real problem. This guy had a couple of nodes in his area. I craft several high-end ones, and I began to craft like mad. It turns out, if you're not in your main inventory, they can't recharge. So I use them to drain the nodes in his base. I drain the nodes around his base. I go further out and drain the nodes up to 20 chunks from his base in every direction. Also, his base is chunk loaded. It is active all the time, whether someone is there or not. The nodes are a continuous state of stress and begin spawning my little hate children in a rather steady manner. Not fast, but steady. Having completed my work, I leave it be and set to sell my metric crap ton of thumic goods. I made a lot fueled by EC's base. A day or so goes by and everyone knows the server lag is going to be a problem. Also, EC logs in. He'd been offline for a few days and left me a nice window. EC disconnects a moment later. EC logs in again. This repeats 2 or 3 times before he stays locked in. Chat blows up after his character dies. What the flip is my base doing full of flipping wisps? Lots of profanity and griping. I'm dying laughing my butt off. Here's what I know about the mod. Nodes are not blocks. You can't break them. They're not entities. You can't kill them. No admin knows how to get rid of them. They will continue to spawn wisps until they are no longer stressed. The problem was so bad, they had to wipe his base off the map to fix it. The strain on the server was too much. EC loses his crap both figuratively And literally, they would not give him the stuff he had bought. They would only give him the stuff he had bought, and that was it. He lost everything. It warmed my dark heart to no end. Don't F with the guy who is meticulous. Oh. Oh, that's... golf clap. You get the golf clap. Or, there we go. Slow clap, golf clap, whatever you want. Reminds me of a story. I'm recording right now. Can you give me a second? Okay, thank you. My boy. We had this guy. We played a game called Freelancer, and Biscuit. Biscuit was a guy. Oh, he was young. He was annoying, and he was a jerk. Like the kid, but he was a little jerk. Yes?
Well, hi there, friends.
Yep, we're doing Redneck Reads Reddit. You gonna come over here? Come on over. Come on over. All right. Well, I'm trying to tell him a story. Would you like to hear the story? You've never heard the story.
I don't read Reddit.
I read Reddit. You just come in here and peek around at the corner of the camera. Anyway, so Biscuit decides that he has a bunch of stuff for... Yes, they will like and subscribe.
And hit the bell so we notified every time we upload a video.
Thank you, buddy.
Please do it. My dad needs subs on YouTube.
Dad needs subs on YouTube. All right, let me finish my story. Anyway, in Freelancer, we were playing a mod, and had just about every ship you could imagine in there. Night Stalker's Universe mod, as a matter of fact.
Wow, that's cool.
Yes, it was cool. Now let me finish my story. Go away. Shoot. Be gone. Be gone.
Redneck Reads Reddit. Give my side a million.
Yep.
I got a million cries on
Boom.
YouTube because we need subs to buy money.
Yep, we need subs for money. That's it. I think we're going to start it. I think we'll just make a video one day and call it Subs for Money. But anyway, so...
on the new channel that we are soon making, Money Store.
Money Store, yeah, that's what we need. All right, go. Look, it's look, dude, it's starting to get late. If you want to go, tell everybody bye.
Quincy.
Yes, he is. He says he's so cringy.
Make sure to not be lactose intolerant.
Okay. Do you want to play You Support Night?
Yeah.
Then go play it.
Okay.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Okay, go. Anyway, so Biscuit had a bunch of stuff. Okay, okay, that's tough, buddy. You're getting right up in their face. Nobody likes having people up in their face.
I'm trying to see.
I'm going to show them your face. Nope, I'm going to show them your face.
Let me know in the comments if you want me and Dad to make a dare video.
A dare video? All right, give me fist bumps. Boom.
Like to save the eyebrows and hair in your beard.
No, we're not shaving my beard. Bye.
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 Look at my teeth. Lactose intolerant teeth.
JD, that's enough.
Bye.
Okay. That's enough. Now, go. Shoot. That was JD. Anywho, so Biscuit had been just... He would go around and he would find the ships that maybe the hitboxes weren't quite right on. So you couldn't shoot the stupid things to save your life. Unless you started using nukes. And, well, we're sitting there, we're talking about weapons one day in chat. We get on TeamSpeak. Or no, we were, me and him was in chat. Me and a couple other guys are in TeamSpeak, and they seen Biscuit. And Biscuit's in his ship. His ship of many things. All the really good loot he had picked up, you know. So, I'm sitting there talking to him, and I'm like, hey, I'm looking for this. He goes, hey, I think I got one. Now, you had to scroll through a list of crap when you had a full cargo bay. So he's scrolling, and I'm looking at other stuff and asking him questions about it. The whole time, my two buddies are sneaking in to the system where we're at. And about the time they decloaked, I punched the afterburners on my fighter to get out of the nuke blast radius. He went up. Oh, it was glorious. Poof! In this game, there'd be these little boxes floating around, little squares. Fly by and hit the tractor beam, suck in all this cargo. So as soon as he blew up, I went. Guess who had a cargo bay full of crap? Me. All right, y'all. This has been Redneck Reads Reddit, and this has been some Pro Revenge. I hope y'all have enjoyed it. If y'all have, like, share, subscribe, hit the little bell, ding, so you never miss another video that we put out. All right, y'all. I'm out of here, and see y'all next time.